It's a stark reality that by the time you reach 80, your muscle mass might have dwindled to half of what it once was. This isn't just about looking different. It's about sarcopenia, a debilitating condition that robs millions of their independence. Over 50 million seniors grapple with its effects, and weak muscles lead to over 300,000 hospitalizations each year due to falls. But here's the truly surprising part. Recent research from the Journal of Physiology challenges the notion that this severe muscle atrophy is inevitable. Imagine individuals in their 70s possessing the strength, function, and even appearance of someone decades younger, while many of their peers struggle with simple tasks like standing up or climbing stairs. These superagers maintain full independence well into their 90s, often outperforming people half their age in strength tests, continuing to enjoy activities like mountain climbing and sports. If you're finding this information valuable, hit that like button and subscribe to the Golden Life channel for more insightful health videos. So, what's their secret? It turns out that 93% of seniors are unaware of the habits that can significantly delay or even reverse age-related muscle loss. Even more astonishing, most doctors don't share the most crucial habit that can help older adults regain lost muscle mass in their 70s and 80s. Research from Harvard Medical School even suggests that many common medical recommendations contradict what science has proven to be vital for preserving strength as we age. Keep reading, because the first habit we'll discuss is likely something you're doing incorrectly every day. And this common mistake is accelerating muscle atrophy by activating genes that typically wouldn't be. Correcting this one behavior could mean the difference between thriving independently in your golden years or needing assistance. Before we dive in, please give this video a like and subscribe to the Golden Life channel for more content like this. Also, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. All right, let's get right into it. Habit 7. Embracing hormetic stress. One of the most counterintuitive practices of strong 80-year-olds is their deliberate exposure to specific types of stress, known as hormetic stressors. Hormesis describes the phenomenon where substances or exposures that are harmful in high doses actually have beneficial effects at lower ones. In essence, what doesn't kill you can literally make you stronger, especially when it comes to your muscles. Studies from the Buck Institute for Research in Aging indicate that brief encounters with certain stresses trigger cellular defense mechanisms, leading to the preservation and even enhancement of muscle function and growth well into one's 80s. Temperature. Variation is a primary hormetic stressor employed by superagers. This activates brown fat, boosts mitochondrial biogenesis, and triggers adiponectin, a hormone that safeguards muscle tissue from breakdown. Short bursts of cold, such as ending your shower with 30-60 seconds of cold water or quick cold plunges, are effective. Saunas and hot tubs offer similar benefits, activating heat shock proteins that protect and repair muscle cells. A Finnish study revealed that 10 years of consistent sauna use, 4 to 7 times weekly, was associated with 40% less muscle loss compared to non-sauna users. The second hormetic stressor is intermittent fasting, or eating within specific time frames. Without aiming for weight loss, superagers limit their food consumption to an 8 to 10 hour window daily to improve muscle quality and stimulate autophagy, the body's cellular cleansing process. This practice has been shown to enhance mitochondrial activity in muscles by up to 10% in as little as 12 weeks, according to research from the Salk Institute. Third, transient but powerful muscle contractions act as a hormetic stressor. Overcoming isometrics are a common exercise, where superagers push or pull against immovable objects at full effort for 5 to 10 seconds. These short, intense contractions signal muscle cells to remain robust and active, without excessive joint strain. The key to the potency of these stresses lies in their sporadic nature. They should be brief, followed by ample recovery time. When applied correctly, these controlled stresses activate longevity genes like FOXO and sirtuins, which primarily aim to preserve muscle mass as we age. Remember to ease into these habits gradually to build tolerance and avoid overwhelming your system. The goal is gentle, beneficial stress. Habit 6. Strategic protein timing. While the overall amount of protein consumed is a concern for seniors, research suggests that the timing of protein intake might be even more crucial. Scientists refer to the age-related decline in protein utilization as anabolic resistance. Contrary to popular belief, a study in the Journal of Nutrition indicated that seniors should not consume all their protein at once, but rather distribute throughout the day. Here's the critical insight. Your muscles experience a window of opportunity for protein synthesis approximately 3 to 4 hours after each meal. Most seniors mistakenly consume the majority of their protein at dinner, meaning they aren't providing their muscles with enough protein throughout the day to build muscle. The optimal approach is to spread your meals out and aim for 25-30 grams of high-quality protein with each. So instead of cereal or toast for breakfast, consider eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein smoothie. Continue this trend at lunch and dinner with lean meats, fish, dairy, or plant-based protein sources like lentils and beans. This scheduling technique alone can boost muscle protein synthesis by up to 25% compared to consuming the same amount of protein concentrated in fewer meals. A 12-week study by the University of Texas found that participants who followed this method gained an average of 1.2 pounds of muscle without other lifestyle changes. It's not just about eating protein. When you eat, it also significantly impacts whether your muscles strengthen or continue to waste away. Habit 5. Optimizing vitamin D levels. Did you know that over 80% of the elderly population is deficient in the muscle vitamin? Vitamin D insufficiency is a silent strength killer rampant among seniors. Let me explain. Vitamin D isn't just for your bones. Scientists at Harvard University discovered it activates genes involved in muscle building and synthesis. Your muscle cells contain vitamin D receptors that, when triggered, initiate processes for developing and maintaining muscle mass. Strikingly, a groundbreaking study in JAMA Internal Medicine showed that older adults with optimal vitamin D levels had 25% greater muscle strength than those with inadequate levels. They also exhibited significantly improved reaction time, coordination, and balance, all crucial for preventing falls. Vitamin D deficiency is defined as levels below 20 nanograms per milliliter, while superagers who seem to defy aging almost always maintain ideal levels above 40 nanograms per milliliter. What are the most effective vitamin D supplementation strategies? While sun exposure is beneficial, its efficacy diminishes with age, as our skin's vitamin D production decreases by 50% between the ages of 20 and 65 when exposed to sunlight. The typical daily recommendation of 600 international units is largely insufficient, and supplementation is necessary for most seniors. Though this should be tailored based on blood tests, research suggests that most seniors require 2,000 to 4,000 international units per day to achieve adequate levels. Supplement this with vitamin D-rich foods like fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified dairy, and aim for 15-20 minutes of direct midday sun exposure if possible. A word of caution. Insufficient levels of vitamin K2, found in fermented foods and specific animal products, prevent calcium from reaching the arteries, instead promoting its use by the bones, thanks to vitamin D's synergistic effect. High-dose vitamin D supplementation without adequate K2 can lead to arterial calcification. This often overlooked yet crucial vitamin-nutrient interaction can be a deciding factor in your success. Consult your doctor for a blood test to determine your body's vitamin D needs, and aim to keep your levels above 40 nanograms per milliliter to prevent muscle wasting. Habit 4. Daily inflammation management. What do exceptionally strong elderly people have in common? Interestingly, consistently low levels of inflammation. Researchers have recently concluded that inflammaging, or chronic low-grade inflammation, is a key driver of muscle mass deterioration in older adults. This silent inflammatory process causes muscle protein to break down faster than the body can replace it. But that's not all. Inflammation also inhibits the anabolic signals that typically promote muscle growth in response to exercise and protein intake. A seminal study from Tufts University found that seniors with the highest inflammatory markers lost muscle mass 3 times faster than those with the lowest levels, irrespective of their protein intake or exercise routines. Superagers who maintain youthful strength employ certain anti-inflammatory tactics that most seniors overlook. Their first priority is consistent, quality sleep, achieved by maintaining a regular bedtime and sleeping in a completely dark room. Sleep deprivation can accelerate muscle atrophy by increasing inflammatory cytokines by up to 40%. Secondly, they pay close attention to their digestive health. Age-related changes in gut flora directly contribute to systemic inflammation. New studies from the University of California reveal that superagers' diets include a wide variety of plant foods, 30+ per week, fermented foods, yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, etc., that contain natural probiotics, and diverse fiber sources consumed daily. Thirdly, they carefully plan their workout intensity. While regular mobility is essential, intense workouts should be avoided by most older adults as they can exacerbate inflammation. The average superager exercises at a moderate level most days, with brief intense intervals sprinkled in once or twice a week. Lastly, they regularly consume specific anti-inflammatory compounds, such as omega-3 fatty acids, 2 to 3 grams per day from fatty fish or supplements, curcumin from turmeric, and polyphenol-rich foods, colorful berries, green tea, and extra virgin olive oil. Researchers at the University of California discovered that age-related shifts in gut bacteria can increase inflammatory markers by as much as 29% in just 12 weeks. An easy blood test that measures high-sensitivity, C-reactive protein, SCRP, can help you monitor inflammation. In contrast to the average senior who has levels 3 to 5 times higher, superagers typically keep them below 1.0 milligrams per liter. Habit 3. Taking specific daily vitamins. While most dietary advice focuses on macronutrients like protein, carbohydrates, and fats, superagers with remarkable muscular strength pay close attention to specific micronutrients that support protein synthesis and muscle function. These essential nutrients act as facilitators, ensuring your body can make the most of the protein you consume and the benefits of exercise. Without them, no amount of protein or exercise will prevent muscle loss. Researchers at the University of Vermont have dubbed magnesium the forgotten electrolyte for muscle health, and it naturally takes precedence. This mineral is vital for over 300 enzymatic reactions involved in muscle function, and more than 70% of the elderly population is deficient in it. 2021 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition indicated that seniors with adequate magnesium levels had 30% stronger grips and significantly higher physical performance than those with even slightly low levels. In addition to supplementing with highly bioavailable forms like glycinate or threonate, superagers typically eat magnesium-rich foods daily, such as dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and dark chocolate. Next is creatine, not just for bodybuilders. Compared to strength training alone, creatine supplementation significantly improved muscle mass, strength, and cognitive function in older adults. McMaster University, 2015. A daily intake of 3 to 5 grams can enhance muscle energy generation and water content in muscle cells, creating an anabolic environment. Methylated B12, a B vitamin often overlooked, is also crucial. As stomach acid production declines with age, our body's ability to absorb B12 also decreases. Even worse, proton pump inhibitors and metformin, two widely used medications, severely deplete this vital vitamin. A deficiency impacts both neuronal function and muscle energy generation. Superagers typically supplement with methylcobalamin, the active form of B12, rather than the cheaper cyanocobalamin found in most multivitamins. Mineral cofactors like zinc, selenium, and chromium play an equally critical role in facilitating protein synthesis and insulin sensitivity, qualities essential for nutrient transport to muscle tissue. Comprehensive study from Tufts University associated optimal levels of these trace minerals with a 22% increase in muscle mass maintenance over a 5-year period. Micronutrient testing can help superagers identify their unique nutritional gaps, allowing them to supplement appropriately rather than relying on a generic multivitamin. By tailoring their approach to their specific biochemical requirements, they avoid unnecessary treatments and expenses. Habit 2. Preserving your neuromuscular connections. Here's a fascinating fact most seniors are unaware of. When muscles atrophy, it's not just the individual fibers that are affected. Often, the weakest link is the connection between your muscles and your nervous system. Neuromuscular junctions are like the electrical outlets that power your muscles. When they begin to degenerate, which accelerates significantly beyond age 60, no amount of dietary protein or exercise will help your brain effectively communicate with your muscles. New research from the University of Michigan indicates that exceptionally strong superagers possess far superior neuromuscular connections than the average senior. Even more thrilling, researchers have identified several behaviors that can preserve or even repair these vital links. First, focus on activities that require coordination and precise, deliberate movements. Research has shown that activities like Tai Chi, dancing, tennis, or even ping pong can enhance brain pathways to muscles to strengthen neuromuscular connections, surpassing the benefits of regular strength training or even just walking. These exercises demand that your nervous system recruit muscle fibers in specific patterns. A 2020 study demonstrated that older adults who participated in coordination-demanding activities twice weekly preserved neuromuscular connections 31% better than those who only exercised conventionally. Second, consider substances that promote neuromuscular health. Evidence suggests that alpha-lipoic acid and acetyl L-carnitine can prevent oxidative damage to the nerve-muscle link. Even more encouraging, some B1 forms like benfotiamine and huperzine, found in Chinese club moss, can boost the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, the primary one responsible for muscular activation. Third, some breathing techniques employed by superagers stimulate the vagus nerve, which aids in regulating neuromuscular transmission. Simple breathing exercises like box breathing, inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, can increase neural activation of muscles by as much as 15% in as little as 5 minutes a day. Perhaps most intriguing is the Link between mental activity and the maintenance of neuromuscular connections. A seminal study from Columbia University indicated that older adults' muscular function was far better preserved when they routinely engaged in challenging cognitive pursuits. Researchers found that brain training had a direct positive effect on the neuromuscular system, because the neuromuscular system and the brain share many neural pathways. By utilizing these neuromuscular preservation techniques, superagers can keep their brain connections strong far into their 80s and beyond, allowing them to recruit muscle fibers efficiently. Habit 1. Progressive resistance exercise. We've arrived at the most crucial habit, which experts at Tufts University deemed the most powerful anti-aging drug ever discovered. It's the habit that truly distinguishes exceptionally strong 80-year-olds from their counterparts. Progressive resistance training, but not in the way most seniors approach it. The superagers, whose strength defies their true age, combat the biological processes of muscle atrophy by implementing targeted resistance training programs. Most older adults never learn this fundamental truth. Your muscles operate on a use it or lose it principle, with one critical exception. To maintain them, you must progressively challenge them. Sticking with the same light weights week after week, going for walks or doing water aerobics won't be enough to preserve muscle mass beyond the age of 60. How is the superager method unique? First, the emphasis is on intensity, not duration. Research from McMaster University shows that 2 weeks of high-intensity resistance training to the point of failure resulted in greater muscle gain for seniors compared to 5 weeks of moderate-intensity exercise. The most important thing is to reach the point where you can't perform another repetition with proper form, what exercise physiologists call transient muscle failure. This triggers strong anabolic signals that stimulate protein synthesis in the muscles for up to 72 hours post-exercise. Second, superagers prioritize compound movements, which engage multiple muscle groups simultaneously. Taking into account their mobility and joint health, they utilize modified versions of squats, deadlifts, rows, pushes, and pulls. These movements elicit a stronger hormonal response compared to isolated actions like bicep curls or leg extensions. Third, they employ progressive overload, meaning they gradually increase the difficulty level over time. Using the same weights month after month leads to stagnation because your muscles adapt to the stress you place upon them. Superagers track their workouts and consistently push themselves to do a little bit more each session. Fourth, they emphasize the eccentric or lowering phase of exercises, which is particularly effective for strengthening older muscles. Slowly lowering weights places more tension on the muscles without excessive joint strain. Amazingly, this method works even for those who are starting later in life. A revolutionary study from the University of Alabama showed that older adults who began a 12-week program of progressive resistance training enhanced their strength by 35% and gained an average of 3.3 pounds of muscle. These remarkable changes were also accompanied by improvements in cognitive function, bone density, and blood glucose control. What then is the most common mistake retirees make? Many believe resistance exercise is too risky or simply not for them. The true risk lies in not engaging in resistance training, as it is essential to prevent further muscle loss, which in turn increases the risk of fragility, falls, and dependence. If you implement only one thing from this video, make it progressive resistance training. To ensure you're doing it correctly, consult a qualified trainer initially, then work up to an intensity appropriate for your fitness level. Even just 2 30-minute sessions per week can profoundly impact how you age. There you have it. The 7 research-backed practices that explain the remarkable muscular strength some 80-year-olds continue to possess. Pick a habit you can easily incorporate today and gradually work your way up to the others. Investing effort today in building your strength and independence will pay immense dividends in the long run. Now it's your turn to speak up. Are you currently practicing any of these 7 habits? If so, which one surprised you the most? Do you know an older person in your life who possesses remarkable strength for their age? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Thank you for your time.